welcome back to my channel for a very different type of video today. As you can see, I have no makeup on, and yesterday actually I was doing my makeup and I kind of realized like, wow, I've gotten this routine down to about 10, 12 maybe minutes. I'm the type of person too that I like to figure out what works, and then I don't often change from my normal routine unless there's a special occasion and I just want to like really give it an extra effort. And so I thought it could be fun to show you my everyday makeup routine. I am definitely not a makeup artist, but this is what works for me and this is what I do literally every day unless there's something special going on. So let's do it. It might take me a little bit longer than 10 minutes to do it with you so I can talk you through everything I'm doing. Bet you it will be rather speedy nevertheless. I actually still have all of my everyday makeup things packed in this bag from Kaylee's wedding, which was over a week ago now, so I really need to unpack this. But also, all of my makeup is very dirty and covered in foundation. Please don't judge me. I love you so much. Every single day, the first thing I start off with, I already have moisturizer on my face, is I then use a sunscreen. I've been using this one lately just because it's cheap. It's Neutrogena Healthy Defense Daily Moisturizer and it's SPF 50. I think I got it at Target, so it is very cheap. I use quite a bit, use about that much, and I put it all over my face and neck. My neck is something that I think is going to age the quickest, and I really am trying to be mindful about paying more attention to it. And the décolletage as well. And I am liberal for sure. I'm also not very gentle with my makeup, you will notice. I should be more gentle maybe. After I smell like I'm ready to go to the beach, I've been using this only because it was gifted to me, and another reason I wanted to make this video like sooner rather than later is a lot of the things that I have been using every single day I am almost out of, and some of them were gifted and I just don't really want to spend the money to rebuy it even though I really love them. So making it before it's gone. But I've been using this Becca Cosmetics. It is the Backlight Priming Filter base. So I've been using this underneath my foundation, and I love to use my hands as much as possible. I don't really like using brushes. I feel like I can just feel what I'm doing better with my hands, and that the warmth of my hands kind of helps melt the makeup into my skin a little. And so I apply this just like I apply my foundation, and I use my fingers and rub it all around my face. I feel like it helps make my foundation a little less thick, and it makes it feel a little more natural. It obviously too is like dewy, which underneath foundation I don't know if it really does anything. I was actually on set this week and the makeup artist told me that she thinks primers are the biggest waste of money. She said that she feels like it was created by the makeup industry to get people to spend more money. I don't know if that's true or not. I do like this though, so I've been using it every day. My fingers are all lotiony now and I can't fix the exposure. Okay, as my foundation, I have been using Too Faced Born This Way for like over 2 years now. This is actually not my shade that I normally use, but to be honest, Ulta was just out of my shade and I was out of foundation, so I really needed to buy some that day. So this is Nude. I normally go with rosy undertones. I actually have very pink undertones to my skin, so I like that Too Faced labels neutral, yellow, and rosy undertones so that you can kind of know what the undertones will be. And I don't use a ton. I put it on my fingers as well, and I kind of spot it around my face and then rub it in, just like everything else. I had to go turn off my AC because it's so loud in this place. Whenever I film, I try to turn it off. Okay. One thing I also always do is I use the flashlight on my phone to check my foundation application and see if there's any spots that are missing foundation or any spots that need to be rubbed in a little better. That looks aggressive on camera. And it's looking pretty good. This, I feel like, creates a little bit more of like a tinted moisturizer look. You could do a little bit more foundation for a more full coverage look, but that's why I actually like using that primer underneath. I feel like it like loosens it a little. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. Next, I go in with my concealer. This is also Too Faced Born This Way. This color is very fair. I go lighter than my foundation, and I mostly do it under my eyes. Sometimes, like my chin right now has a little bit of spots to it, so I might do some on my chin. Normally at this point too, I have my flashlight facing me for all of my foundation. It just really messes with the light of the camera. But I'll do a couple of these under my eyes, and you know what? I'm just gonna do a little on my chin as well. Normally wherever I see redness. Then I tap it in with my fingers. I, yet again, feel like the heat from my fingers really helps melt this into my skin a little. And under my eyes as well. Sometimes if I have extra on my finger, I'll go ahead and put it on my eyelid, almost as like kind of a primer for my eyeshadow, just because I don't want to waste product either. I'm gonna give it the flashlight test yet again. It's looking good, looking even. No splotches. Now I'm going to go ahead and set all of this. This setting powder, I actually asked my best friend Kaylee, I said, what is the best cheapest setting powder, because she knows everything about makeup. She said she really likes Maybelline Fit Me. This is the matte poreless. This is just their translucent color, which is funny because I feel like it definitely has like a kind of peachy nude undertone, but it says for normal to oily, greasy skin. I got it at Target and it was very cheap. I really don't like the little sponge applicator it comes with though. It's helpful for on the go, I guess. These makeup brushes I got in a Cosbox unboxing I did, I believe, and I love them. They're so good. And so I just use this and the big floof brush that I'm sure has a proper name, but I don't know what it is, to set my foundation and my concealer. So normally at this point, that takes me about a minute because I literally rub it on, do that, and then set it real quick. Then I move on to my brows. I don't know why I do the order I do. I don't know if it's the right order. That's what I do. So first, I have this old Too Faced. I really liked this. This is their brownie pencil. It's actually empty. I keep it for the spoolie. I need to just get a spoolie. The light's getting a little nuts right now, so I'm sorry. But I first just kind of brush out my brows to get their shape kind of right before filling them in. Then I use this, the Trestique. I don't know if I said that right. Trestique. I always say things with like a funny accent so that you don't notice I'm saying them wrong. This is their Define and Sculpt Set Brow in the Americano color. I got a mini size of this in a FabFitFun box and I liked it so much I bought the full size. I always overdo it, so I always get nervous and I always just try to very lightly start with less. You can always add more. Brush through my brows. Okay, it's not looking terrible. This is like very pigmented, so it can very easily, it lasts forever. The little trial size lasted me, I don't know, like 5 months. So it lasts forever. That's the part that I can spend the longest on if I get really particular, and the more time I spend on it, the worse it tends to look. So I'm gonna stop right there for now. And I actually rebrush through my brows to kind of disperse the product a little bit more and fix any little holes or any little area that might be too dark. And I like to run with my finger underneath my brow to kind of help the shape be a little more crisp. Crisp is a weird word to choose in that scenario. Okay, it's not perfect. And the light is hitting me from this way right now, so this brow looks a lot darker on camera. In real life, they're reading pretty much the same, so I know I might get a comment on that in the video. I'm gonna call it out now. This brow pencil has a color gel on the back half of it to set it, and I actually don't like to use this when I have colored in my brows. I have used this a couple times when I don't fill my brows, and it's like fine because it's pretty pigmented as well, but it's just too much when I do it with the color underneath. So where is it? I picked up this from Ulta. It's the Essence Lash and Brow Gel Mascara Styling Comb. Was literally just the cheapest one there, which is why I bought it. If you haven't noticed, most of my things are either the cheapest thing I could find or they were gifted. The things that were gifted that I have rebought is this brow pencil, one thing I'm about to rebuy, I'll show you in a minute, and Too Faced is my like splurge per se. But other things like powders and like clear gels, things that don't really matter as much, I always just buy the cheapest because to me, it doesn't really make a difference. And I'm not a big makeup person, so it's just not something that I really like to spend money on. I'd rather spend money on going out to dinner because that's something that brings me joy. Also, I'm still getting over being sick, so if I don't seem like my, or sound like my normal self, that is why. Brows are done. Skin is almost done. I have a couple final touches. I'm gonna move on to my eyes. This is one thing that I really want to rebuy. It came with the mini brow pencil that I got from the same brand, the Trestique. It came with a couple color shadows, and the only one I really liked is this Morimoto Pink Pearl. It's a shadow crown. it is literally so empty. It was the prettiest color and it has this perfect sheen to it. And for days now, I've been like digging my finger in there to try to get out everything I can. When this was full, I would just rub it on my, oh, some's coming out kind of. I would rub it on my lower lid like this and use my finger to then kind of disperse it. Very Glossier style. I know Glossier has some of these more almost like liquidy shadows, which I actually really love. I want to play around with them. Maybe I should. I actually feel like I would really like Glossier. I have a couple other things that I do like because they are kind of like minimal and quick and like the no makeup look, so maybe I should play around with them. I just don't often play around with new things. Some days when I'm going extra natural, I'll just leave it at that. But my most frequent thing that I do is I then take a eyeshadow. This was sent to me by Alter Ego. They've sent me a few palettes now, and this is the one that I actually feel like fits me and my lifestyle. And I usually go in with like one or two colors. Like maybe today I'll do a darker brown. This is the Canyon, and I sometimes use a brush. I just love using my fingers. I feel I have more control. So I'm gonna pat that on like the outer lower lid with my fingers, and I'll probably go blend with the brush here in a minute. And a little bit of shimmer. Let's do this bronze color right here. More in the middle of my lid as like the transitional shimmery color. And I'll go in with a little brush to help blend that out. I really like to kind of have like that messy natural look. And I don't normally do anything too high above my crease. Sometimes I'll even go wipe off anything that is too noticeable. That's a very pretty, natural, and easy thing to do. Like I said, oftentimes I go back and wipe off. Then every single day I do a quick top lash liner. I got this as my cheap swap and I really don't like it. I used this a lot in high school. It's the Maybelline Master Precise All Day Liquid like felt tip black. It just doesn't last very long. The one that I had been using before that, I think I got rid of it because it's empty, was a little trial size of the EYECO, the EYECO I think. Also a felt tip. Loved it. Loved it so much. I don't even know if I looked into how expensive it was. I think I just assumed it was expensive. But the trial size also lasted me like at least 6 months. So I should probably just get the big one. I just picked this up on Target because I was out and I really don't love it. But this is another thing I try not to overthink. I just do like a little bit of a cat eye. Some days I mess up and it becomes like a bigger cat eye, but I'm gonna be quiet while I do this because I can't talk and do liner at the same time. And I don't like to carry my liner too far into my eye. I feel like it just kind of closes off my eyes a little. And then the last step for eyes is mascara. I have loved this. It's taken me a while to find a mascara I really liked. Like, I liked the Better Than Sex by Too Faced, right? But I did not like the way it wore throughout the day. Like, I love the way it applied. So normally I either don't like the way it applies, but like it wears fine, or I love the way it applies, but it doesn't wear very fine. This has been my favorite for, you know, just kind of like good. It applies well and it wears well. Maybe not like miraculously, but good enough. So it is the Lights Camera Lashes. Ooh, 4-in-1 mascara. What else does it do? Does it probably primes and I don't know. What else can it do? And a lot of days I will mostly just do my top lashes and like barely touch my bottom ones. But I spend a while on my lashes. I've had people tell me I apply mascara very aggressively. So sorry to my lashes. Oh no. Okay, everything's fine. Let's go ahead and speed this up. I actually feel like I'm close to needing a new one of these. It's getting a little bit dry. But on some days, I just leave it at that. Some days I will do a little touch on the bottom. Almost none. Like, that was actually too much for me. And I'm so close to being done. The last couple of final touches I do is I have this bronzer from Too Faced. The back has worn off, so I don't know what shade it is. I have had this for over 2 years. And are you ready for this? There's still so much, and I use it every single day for over 2 years. Absolutely insane. I love this, and I don't use any particular side. I just kind of swirl my brush through it, and I do it primarily where the sun hits, which is on my cheeks, a little on my nose, a little on my forehead. I also normally do this with the light on me, so I might have just done too much because it's getting a little dark in here. Speaking of Glossier, I've also had this for a couple of years. It's the Quartz Highlighter. This is another one that I'm technically out of, but I just keep digging my finger into it to use up every single last drop. And I spread this through my fingers because it applies a little too noticeably for me. So then I just like to use it on my fingers and kind of pat it along my cheekbones, a little along my brow bone, and a little on my Cupid's bow. Maybe my nose. Final look, I feel like this brow needs to be brushed up a little bit more. And then for lips, I literally wipe off any foundation that might be on it. Yes, I'm using my cardigan. Yeah, that's realistic to what I do every day. And that is pretty much my everyday makeup look. Like I said, normally this takes me about 10-12 minutes, but I'm not talking through everything, and I normally don't, probably tried a little bit harder than I do normally today. I normally just I'm like, sure. Well, that was a lot of fun. Actually, talking through this made me realize that maybe I do want to try all of Glossier. Maybe I should try to do a whole look with Glossier. Might be expensive, maybe not. But if that sounds like a video that would be interesting, let me know. I don't do a lot of makeup things because I don't really consider myself a makeup person, but maybe that makes me more applicable and more realistic and more affordable because I use the same products for over 2 years. Or buy them very cheap at Target normally. So let me know what you think. I love you guys so much. Hopefully you had fun with a little bit of mix-up and content lately. I'm just making what I want nowadays, which is fun for me, hopefully fun for you as well. If you want to stay up to date with everything I've been posting, then please like and subscribe. I know everybody says that and it just goes in one ear and out the other because you hear it so much, but it really does help us more than you know. I love you so much. Have the best rest of your day, and I'll see you in a video very soon. Bye.